Hi, this is Shamik here from Farmizon, and I'm back again with another video. And today I'm going to talk about a very interesting thing. A question that a lot of people ask me always is I have a limited grocery budget and I want to really try and eat organic food. What should I buy organic and what is okay to buy chemical food, right? So my answer to them usually is that try to buy everything organic if possible. But I understand that it's not always practical. You have both budgetary constraints as well as availability issues, right? So here is my personal framework as to how I think about where I should spend my money when I have to buy organic, right? So there are two important factors that I look at. First factor is how much time has elapsed since the harvest of that particular crop and when I am eating it. The shorter the time, the more the efficacy of the chemicals that have been used, hence I would want to eat organic, right? So if something has been just harvested a day back and I'm eating it right after that, I would probably want to eat that organic. If something has been harvested a year back, maybe I don't care so much about whether it's organic or not. So this is one factor, time between harvest and when I actually consume it. The second factor is how much of cooking do I do? If it is something which I'm going to eat raw, it's very important that I eat organic. If it is something which I'm going to do a light saute with, then again it's important that it's organic. If I'm going to do a lot of cooking on it, right, then probably a lot of those chemicals will get destroyed in the cooking process, right, and hence maybe I don't really need to buy it organic. So these are the two factors that I look at, right? So if you look at these two factors and you kind of try to score all of the food, it kind of, there's a spectrum, right, where let's say on this side are things which you must buy organic, and as you grow from this spectrum, this continuum, you see that things which are on this side are probably not so important to buy organic, or it's up to you kind of. So the most important things to buy organic in my opinion, right, are salad greens, because salad greens scores very high on both of these two aspects, right? They have been harvested just a day before or maybe 12 hours before, so they are coming to my plate right from the farm. Secondly, we do not cook them, we eat them raw, right? So because of that, it's very important that we should have them organic. Second comes cooking greens, right? Again, you are going to they have been harvested just some time back, so any chemicals which might have been used on them are still effective, right? So you need to really try, and when in cooking greens also, you don't really cook them very extensively, you kind of do a light saute and things like that. So it's very important to have cooking greens also organic, right? Then third comes your fruit vegetables, right, as well as fruits with, let's say, a thin peel. So when I say fruit vegetables, I talk of things like tomato, brinjal, cauliflower, all of these sort of things, right? So these fruit vegetables, these you are typically maybe eating after 2-3 days of them having been harvested. So some amount of the most harmful part of the pesticides have kind of dissipated a little bit, right? And then comes your, as I mentioned, thin peeled fruits which you are going to eat with the peels on, right? Let's say your strawberries or your grapes, right? Again, they score very high on both of the parameters, that you are essentially eating them without any cooking, you are eating them raw, right? And they have been, maybe you are eating them after 7-8 days of harvest, right, and so on and so forth. Fruits with a thick peel come next, right, because at least there is some protection against the chemicals that might have got in, right? So your bananas, right, or let's say your avocados, these sort of fruits come kind of a little bit further up in the spectrum. Then comes your root vegetables, and root vegetables and these thick-skinned fruits are kind of pretty much at the same level. Root vegetables rank a little lower than fruit vegetables in my opinion, because the roots are inside the ground, so their exposure to surface pesticides is slightly less, right, as compared to fruit vegetables, right? Now then comes your nuts, right? Because nuts have been harvested quite some time back, several months back, so a lot of the efficacy has gone, but you're still going to have them raw, right? So you're still going to eat your almonds or your walnuts pretty much right as it is. So that's where they come. After that comes all of your other stuff, right? Let's say your cold pressed oils, for example, right? all of your rice, wheat, all of these grains, these comes at the far end of the spectrum. I mean, if I have a limited budget, I will probably not spend money in buying those as organic, right? Primarily because my rice might have been stored for 2 years before I am actually consuming it, since it's harvest, right? So and I'm going to cook it pretty extensively, right? So because of both of those reasons, the amount of chemicals that remain in that is less. So this is how I kind of look at it, right? You basically looked at these two factors: how much time between harvest and when you are eating it. The shorter the time, the more important it is to have it in an organic mode. Second is how much of cooking are you going to do it. If you're going to cook it a lot, maybe you can not have it organic and it's still fine, right? Having said all of that, it's always better to have all of your food organic, simply because A, it's good for the environment, B, it just has a lot more nutrients, right? So I hope this video was useful. Please drop in your comments and let me know what else you would want me to talk about. Thank you. Bye-bye.